And we are live. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Late night live stream. Got tomorrow off, so why not? Why not? Thought I would hit one up, you know? I was gonna go to bed, but it's so fucking warm over here. I'm knackered, but I can't sleep, so yeah, we'll do a quick live stream. Bartholomew's in the chat, aka Brian Piss. What's going on, Brian? Jay's Boxing Universe. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just warm. Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, aka McGregor. What's up, man? Yeah, Bartholomew, starting late. Just got back in. So yeah, thought I'd hit one up, man. Talk some boxing and yeah, go from there. Yeah, what's up, MB? How you doing, man? Oh, good, Bartholomew, good, man. Yo, Don Hearn, what's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, there's not too much boxing to talk about. This weekend is kind of quiet. There's a few things to look out for. But ultimately, yeah, it's quite a quiet weekend. Nothing high profile. There's a few things I'm interested in, like Izu Agono. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Obviously, you've got Mbenge, the welterweight prospect. There's a few things to look out for, and also the show in Kazakhstan, the MTK show. Nordim Ubali, he's fighting, defending his WBC title. So there's a few things to look out for. But yeah, nothing special, I guess. Bartholomew. He says he'll change his name before the next stream to stop you having to say Bartholomew. No, man, it's all good, man. It's all good. Okay, Don Hearn. Okay, thank you for dropping that in the chat. So it's on TVP Sport. Okay. I'm about to find a stream, I'm sure. I'll be able to, yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch if I can find a stream. Bartholomew, he asks, yeah, Josh Well, he's fighting who's that dude's name? I've heard of this dude before. I think he fought Agbeko, maybe. Yeah, Josh Wales fighting and also Tommy Frank. I'm not really interested in Tommy Frank after he avoided Sonny Edwards. I mean, why fight some, you know, uh, he's fighting some absolute nobody for a Commonwealth title, but he could have fought Sonny Edwards, you know? I mean, crazy stuff. I mean, that's not in fans' best interests. Fucking Tommy Frank ducking Sonny Edwards, but there we go. It is what it is. I think he knows Sonny Edwards would give him the business right now, to be quite honest. He knows that. Yeah, MB, I've seen it. Yeah, all TBAs. All TBAs. Yeah, unrivaled. And Mbenge, he looks very good to me. Well, he looks like an interesting prospect. Couple of good results on his resume. The Chavez win and the Vasquez win, they look good on paper. And yeah, he's an interesting prospect. More the merrier, I say, at welterweight. We need some fresh blood in that division. Looking for those guys to push on. Guys like Mbenge, Jiron Ennis, Rashidi Ellis, people like that. I'm looking for these guys to push on. But yeah, welterweight right now. There's a few good prospects coming up. Unrivaled. Thank you. Thank God you went live. I didn't want to. Yeah, man. I wasn't even going to go live today, mate. To be quite honest, but Yeah, thought I'd go for it. Thought I'd go for it. Bartholomew Turd, Porky's heavily involved in that show. Well, I mean, the Tommy Frank fight ain't for the boxing fans, I'll tell you that much. When we could have had Sonny Edwards, like I said. So there you go. That says it all right. Damn, unrivaled. Kameda versus Vargas next week. That's come around really quick. That's a half decent fight. Kameda Kameda's a solid guy. You know, he took McDonald. Well, yeah, he fought McDonald twice, and yeah, both of those fights were very close. He's a solid guy. I think he'll give Vargas problems, but I think Vargas is too tall, too rangy, too awkward, and I think he'll outpoint him. To be honest, I think Vargas is having too much. He's going to have too much. Yeah, Bartholomew. I saw that Bolton MTK show. Very poor. Very poor. I mean, what is Hosea Burton doing right now? I mean, the guy's fighting Latvian Amazon drivers. I mean, what's this dude doing? What's this dude doing, man? He needs to fight somebody domestically. I mean, someone like Bob Ajasafe, for example, he's struggling to get fights. Why not? Why not Burton versus Ajasafe? Good fight. I'd watch it. Yo, Shepherd of Sons in the chat. What's going on, man? How you doing? Okay, no, I've not got a fire stick, Don Hearn. I'll have a look though. I'll have a look into it. Abstract boxing. What's going on, man? What's going on? He says, I've been thinking Dubois Gorman was this week, but it's next year, man. That fight can't come soon enough. Really looking forward to that fight. Really looking forward to it. And I've been picking Dubois this whole way, but I've got, like I say, I've changed my mind. My official pick now is Gorman by knockout. I've changed to Gorman. I've bottled it. We're going Nathan Gorman. Okay, unrivaled. Have you seen Wilder Ortiz 2 September 28th with Benavides Durrell? Okay, no, I never saw that. I never saw that. I think listen, as it gets closer, I think I will look forward to it. It's not the fight I really want, but you know, it's Wilder. He's fun to watch. He knocks people out. I'll definitely watch it, man. I'll watch it. And as for Benavides, I really think he's going to smash up Anthony Durrell. I think Anthony Durrell these days is past it, to be honest. Way past it. He's keeping that belt warm for Benavides. You know, Benavides got his Scarface on, snorted a few lines. Now he's ready. Now he's back. He'll take that belt back. He's good. He's good. Jay's Boxing Universe. Del Boy, how are you feeling about White Rivas? I'm so tempted to play some money on Rivas. I mean, Rivas, he's got a chance. He can punch. He's good in the exchanges. He's got a nice counter left hook. He's got decent timing. He's quite, he's quite solid. He's a decent boxer. Good amateur background. Beat Pulev in the amateurs. He's a good dude. He's a good fighter. And if Dillian is on his P's and Q's, he should win. But if Dillian takes his eye off the ball, that's the type of fight you could lose. I think Rivas is a banana skin type opponent, to be quite honest. Yo, Tone in the chat. What's going on, Tone? How you doing? Yo, White Rivas Sky Sports main event. Yeah, was that true? I thought that was. Did it get changed or something? That's crazy. If that's true. Yo, abstract, living the dream, man. Yeah, same, man. Yeah, man. July 13th is a great night for boxing. Great night, man. Looking forward to that heavyweight card, heavy duty. Fair play to Warren for putting that on. That's a great card. That's a great card. Yeah, you're right, Abstract. Gorman's right uppercut. Yeah, it's a nice shot, and you're right. Dubois is definitely open for that, especially in the exchanges. I think Dubois kind of he really does open up, and he kind of fights square on when he opens up. You know, his shots aren't straight when he puts them together, and that quick right uppercut up close. You know, that could be a shot for him. That's a good observation. Abstract, he thinks Benavidez is for goods. Quickest hands at 168 by far. Oh yeah, totally agree. He's got the quickest hands, man. He does. He's a big old boy as well. He's a big lad with punching power. He's got a nice jab as well when he uses it. But Benavidez, yeah, he's a good talent. The only thing with Benavidez, he does need that win to kind of prove himself. You know, so far his resume is a bit lacking, but based on the eye test, he looks like a real handful. Real handful. Yeah, what's up, Loma King? How you doing, man? Damn, that can't be true, man. That Dillian White fight being on regular Sky. If it is, man, fair play. Fair play. Jay's Boxing Universe, what potential upset would you be confident in placing money on? I guess Gorman versus Dubois. I know that's not an upset to us, but, you know, he's an underdog with the bookies. And I think that's good value. You know, maybe Gorman by knockout. I don't think Rivas is a terrible bet by knockout. So there's a couple out there. There's a couple out there. Maybe Billum Smith versus Riakpour. I've not seen the odds for that fight, but Billum Smith can fight. He can punch as well. That's going to be a good one. Yo, Corey Lee in the chat, man. Shout out to Corey Lee. Thank you very much, man. And thank you very much. And by the way, lads, I know you guys see Corey all the time in the chat, but check his channel out, man. He's got a really good channel. You know, he covers, well, he doesn't just cover like the main, you know, high profile fighters. He covers all types of fighters. And he's got a great channel. So check out Corey Lee Boxing. Yeah, Abstract, you're right. But yeah, he does get hit a bit too much, Benavidez. But yeah, he's young. He's young. He's still got a lot of time. He's got a lot of great natural attributes. Like I say, quick hands, big, hits hard. You know, he's got a lot of good attributes. Yeah, MB, I saw that video, Corey Lee at the carnival. I saw that. Bruh, I hate carnivals, man. I hate all that type of stuff, man. Just not for me, man. Not for me. I used to like all that sort of stuff, man, but I think I'm getting more miserable as I get older, to be quite honest. Joe Blow, Manny's going to batter Ponytail. It could happen, man. It could happen. I mean, how's Keith looking? I mean, I've not really seen much training footage from either guy, I can't lie. I need to kind of look into that fight a bit more. You know, it's a great fight, but weirdly, I've paid no attention to the build-up at all. No attention at all. But it's a good fight. It's a really good fight and a really good card as well. It's a really good card. I love that your Dennis Ugas versus Omar Figueroa fight. I think that's a great fight. I really think that's a good fight. I'm taking Ugas in that fight, but Figueroa's pressure's no joke. and Ugas's gas tank in the past hasn't always been, the best. So maybe if Figueroa can make it a tough fight, high pace, maybe he could gas Ugas out. But I'm taking Ugas in that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Abstract. Yeah, White is a pay-per-view fighter these days, and yeah, he demands big money. He demands big money. Yeah, and that's not a bad fight though. Dillian White versus Rivas. Like I say, it's a fight White should win, but Rivas, he's a dangerous dude. He can punch hard. He's got good hand speed. Like I said, good amateur background. Nice and compact. Nice tight high guard. Good, actually a really good jab when he uses it. Rivas is solid, and he's that type of dude where if you overlook him, he could upset you. So Dillian White needs to be on his P's and Q's. He really does. I mean, I keep on hearing Dillian talking about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and whatnot. I mean, this dude, he needs to learn from Joshua. Don't take your eye off the ball because you can get your ass knocked out, you know? Yeah, Corey Lee, I totally agree. I totally agree. He needs to take Rivas serious. Oh, thank you, Quags, man. And yes, happy 4th of July to all of the American viewers. Hope you guys are having a good one over there, man. Hope you're having a few beers, sinking a few, having a good time, man. I'd love to go to America for 4th of July, man. I can't lie. Must be amazing. Abstract boxing. I've got a feeling Rivas is going to be White's banana skin. I mean, I think it's possible. I do think there's a possibility of an upset in that fight. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Rivas can outpoint Dillian, but he can certainly hurt him and maybe even knock him out. I think he's got that type of power. We've seen Joseph Parker hurt Dillian. We've seen Hellenius hurt Dillian. Joshua, of course. He's been hurt. He's been rocked. And I think Rivas hits hard enough to do that as well. Yeah, Loma King, he is. Oscar Rivas is faster than Dillian. He is. He's got nice quick reactions as well, man. That quick left hook puts his shots together quite quickly as well. Yeah, he is quicker. He's got quicker hands than Dillian, certainly. In terms of his foot speed, I think that's where Oscar Rivas kind of falters. His feet aren't the quickest, and maybe Dillian's got quicker feet. But yeah, certainly hand speed wise, Rivas is quicker. Yeah, abstract. I agree. Dillian White he has certainly improved. He's got, I think his jab is a lot better these days. His conditioning's a lot better, but he still has that raw kind of style. You'll see him throw himself off balance when he'll try and throw that left hook or that right hand. He does still miss wildly at times. He's still fairly inaccurate with his power shots, and against a good counterpuncher, that could be his undoing. Against a guy who can find the target before him, he could end up getting himself knocked out. That's why I think he loses to Wilder. I think Wilder will he'll time Dillian coming in with that right hand. He'll catch him and knock him out. I think Dillian's too open, to be honest. But offensively, Dillian is quite good. He works the body well. He's got good power himself. Nice left hook to the head. He is a good offensive fighter. Good on the inside as well, actually, Dillian White. He can fight on the inside. So he's got a lot of good attributes as well. Joe Blow Furman is going to run and they may rob Manny. Yeah, that could happen. You'd imagine anything close is going to Furman. Why would they give the decision to a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao when Furman's got a lot more left in him? You know? I would imagine, yeah, Furman's the home fighter. He is. MB, he says, can't get rid of that image of White Gast getting walked down by Robert Helenius. Yeah, Robert Helenius. Yeah, you're right. Need a drink of water. But yeah, you're right. He looked horrible in that fight. Got hurt as well. Got hurt in that first round, I believe. Yeah, Dillian can get hurt, man. He can. Jay's Boxing Universe. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I really want somebody to end this Munguia hype train. To me, there really isn't anything there other than size and power. Yeah, I agree, man. I actually think Munguia, he looks to be regressing. You know, he got the title against Saddam Ali. He beat up a much smaller guy. It was what it was. And he did look good doing it. After that, he fought Liam Smith in a solid mandatory defense. He looked fairly good against Liam Smith. Liam Smith is a decent fighter. But after that, he seems to have gone backwards, to be quite honest. Doesn't seem to be carrying the same type of intensity in his work, you know. Doesn't seem to be as powerful. Just doesn't seem to be the same type of pressure that there was before. And yeah, it looks like he's holding that belt hostage right now, to be quite honest. You know, you've got J Rock and Jarrett Hurd fighting each other. You've got you've got Harrison and Charlo. Looks like they're going to fight again. You know, these other guys are doing things, whereas Munguia is sitting on the outside fighting, you know, poor competition and not looking good doing it. So I get at that point with Munguia. I'm not really interested in him right now. And yeah, my throat's going, boys. Yes, Shepherd of Sons, Madrimov. He will definitely beat Munguia, in my opinion. I think he will have too much. I think he will have too much. And yeah, you're right, Jay's Boxing Universe. I felt Dennis Hogan nicked that fight. I felt he did a good job of outboxing Munguia, neutralized him, and you know, he was the ring general in there. He boxed a good fight, actually. I'd never seen Hogan until that point, but yeah, he boxed a good fight. He boxed a good fight. Yeah, what's up, John 99? How you doing? You're becoming one of the regulars, man. Shout out to John 99. Thank you for dropping by, man. Joe Blow, the funniest part of Mayweather versus Manny is Mayweather Sr. telling Floyd he's fighting scared and losing at the same time. The commentators are blowing Floyd. Yeah, I noticed that, actually. I did notice that. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Jay's Boxing Universe, Tom Schwartz versus Dominic Brazil. I reckon Dominic Brazil, you know, would walk through Tom Schwartz, to be honest. I know Brazil got twatted by Deontay Wilder, but Dominic Brazil, he's shown some good form in the division previously. You know, he beat Agono, he beats Mansour, Eric Molina. You know, these are much better names than anybody Tom Schwartz has fought. So I would take Brazil to beat Schwartz and knock him out, to be honest. Oh yeah, abstract. I think J Rock definitely beats Munguia. 100%. 100%. I think J Rock puts a schooling on Munguia, if I'm being honest. He'll outbox him and beat him up. I was really impressed with J Rock last time out. I felt he boxed a beautiful fight. Loved watching that fight. I felt J Rock just Just a great fight to watch, a great performance, man. Because he boxed well, but like he got aggressive when he needed to, pushed Hurd back, beat him at his own game, landed some great shots on the inside, great body work, just boxed a really good fight for me. Really enjoyed that performance. Thank you, John, man. Thank you very much. We're trying over here, man. We're trying. It's been slow, man. It's been really slow, but I think we're going in the right direction. Just keep plugging away and I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there. But I see a lot of other channels in the same position, man. A lot of guys out there are churning out content, churning out great content, and they don't really get the viewership that they deserve. I'm not saying that's me, but I'm saying like look at Corey Lee for example. Check his channel out. Look at the content he delivers. Look at the guys he covers. I mean, he should have a lot more subscribers than he does already, in my opinion, and Unrivaled as well. I mean, he does the historical side as well. A boxing librarian. There's guys out there who do a lot of fucking work, but they don't really have the viewership they deserve. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons, Snack is suspect. Having said that, though, I mean, if I took that shit and looked like Mikey Garcia, I'm going to be looking for that refund, bruv. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I know what you mean. They are a bit dodgy. Bartholomew, he says, who can a Foley? Who can a Coley fight on the 20th for the British and Commonwealth titles? Hyde's not taking it. Okay. What about Dion Juma? Dion Juma would be a good shout. I don't think he's got a fight scheduled from the last time I checked. Hang on, let me have a look. Dion Juma. He's 11-0. He's got a fight scheduled against Wadi Camacho on the 7th of September. Okay, yeah, I just saw it. Bartholomew. Well, I mean, if Juma's fully booked, do you know what? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The fight that needs to happen, if Okole's going to stay around domestic level, we need Riakporhe versus Okole. Let's be honest about it. That'd be a great fight. Riakporhe versus Okole. I'm all up for that. Abstract boxing. Same Dell, I think, in the Charlo fight, he got caught cold, and that skewed fans' perceptions of J Rock. I've been saying I rate him since the podcast days. Yeah, I remember, mate. I do remember. And you're right, because even in that fight, yeah, he got knocked out. But when he didn't get dropped and when he didn't get knocked out, he was boxing a fairly good fight. He was giving Jamal Charlo a lot of problems. So yeah, no, you are right. I think sometimes when a guy gets knocked out early in his career or in devastating fashion, it can kind of turn fans off. Look at Erickson Lubin, for example. I mean, he got knocked out by Jamel in a round. He seems to be rebounding quite well. I happen to believe he's a talented guy. I think he'll do well. I think he'll rebound. I think he could be another guy like Jamel Charlo. Sorry, I think Lubin could be another guy like J Rock. Sorry. John 99. Dell, who are your top 3 or 5 most athletically gifted fighters of all time? That's a good question. You've got to say Roy Jones Jr. number one, surely. Roy Jones number one. I'm going to just go with guys that I saw a lot of. Roy Jones number one, without doubt. After that, man, I'm struggling to put them in order. Prince Naz is up there, of course. Prince Naz, Pernell Whitaker. Vasily Lomachenko. There's loads of dudes, man. Yeah, David Hay was an athletic freak, abstract. You are right. Prime Hay, yeah. His power at cruiserweight was like crazy, crazy power. Gary Russell Jr. is a great athlete. I think he's slowing down now, but in his prime, his hand speed was frightening. It really was, man. His hand speed was frightening. Yeah, Floyd, John 99 at the lighter weights. Sergio Martinez was athletically gifted. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons he had success starting so late in boxing. He started boxing at 21 years old, and he was a a phenomenal athlete. He really was. Joe Blow, when is Spence going to move up and stop weight bullying fat lightweights? I mean, hopefully soon, man. Hopefully we're going to get this Sean Porter fight. That'd be a good start. And then after that, I'm looking at him fighting the winner of Pacquiao Furman. That's what I want as a fan. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, 100%. Jay's Boxing Universe and Abstract. Roy Jones #1, surely. Bartholomew, he's not 100% sure. Reakpor beats Chris Billum Smith. No, I agree, man. I think that's a really good fight. I think that's close to a 50-50. You would lean towards Reakpor because he's more proven. He's got better wins over Tommy McCarthy and Sam Hyde. But Billum Smith can box. He can punch a bit as well, like I say. Yeah, unrivaled boxing talk. That's a good point. Yeah, because he looked good before the Jamal Charlo fight. He got knocked out by Jamal, and then after that, he looked pretty ropey, to be quite honest. He looked bad against Ishe, like you said, and also he looked bad against Nathaniel Gallimore. Yeah. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons. I think Lubin will rebound. I hope he does because he's refreshing. He's seems like a down to earth dude. Seems quite humble. He's got a nice style to watch as well. He's fairly aggressive. Yeah, I hope he rebounds. I think he will. I think that Jamel Charlo thing was just like one of those things where you get caught cold. It is what it is, you know. Some excellent fighters have been knocked out in one round. We shouldn't really write him off based on that. Obviously, it puts a huge question mark over his future, but we shouldn't really write him off. Yeah, Loma King, Ray Robinson. Yeah, that's a good shout. Unrivaled. Tyson Fury. For a man of that size and that weight, to move the way he moves, to put his shots together the way he does, it's crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Mark Too Sharp Johnson, damn. Shepherd of Sons. That's a good shout. Bartholomew talking about fighters that got knocked out in a round, whereas Linares, Christ only knows. Christ only knows. I don't believe he has any business at 140, if I'm being honest. Yeah, John 99. Badu Jack got knocked out in a round by Derek Edwards, and look what he managed to achieve. And Badu Jack never had a bad chin. He just got caught cold, and it was what it was. He came back, picked up some good wins at 168, and even had a little bit of success at 175. So yeah, Badu Jack's a great example. I think Badu Jack's a great example to a lot of fighters, though. You know, before he got knocked out, he never looked anything special, but he kept at it. perfected the basics, and it took him a long way. It took him a long way. Yeah, Tapia. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard watching his interviews, man. You know, that's really hard. Yeah, what's up, Boxing Brains? How you doing, man? Get this smoke? Yes, sir. Hashim Rackman. Abstract boxing and stuff. I'm really high on Teofimo, to be honest. He's pretty advanced for his age, sets traps really cleverly. Yeah, I do like Teofimo. He's a very good prospect, explosive, hits hard, big as well for that weight class. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot going for him. I'm not sure whether I rate him above Devin Haney. For me, so far, Devin Haney showed a bit more versatility. You know, you've seen Devin Haney work the body, be aggressive. We've also seen him box on the back foot, show good defense. To me, Devin Haney showed a bit more in terms of variety, but Teofimo is certainly a really good prospect. He really is. Yeah, what's up, Don Flamenco? Shout out to Don Flamenco, by the way. He's been subbed for a long time. So shout out to Don Flamenco in the chat. Yeah, Jay's Boxing Universe, Meldrick Taylor. That first Chavez fight ruined him. If you've not seen it, by the way, watch the HBO documentary about that fight. I think, what do they call that documentary? Was it Greatest Fights or Greatest? Hang on, let me Google it. HBO Greatest. Oh, hang on, Meldrick Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez. What was that HBO documentary where they went over great fights in like a documentary type style? Oh Christ. I forgot what yeah, Legendary Fight Nights or Legendary Nights, that's it. Jay's Boxing Universe. Yeah. If you've not seen, well, they're all really good. I love all those episodes. But the one on Taylor versus Chavez, really good watch. Really good watch. And also the one on Hearns versus Hagler, that was a really good watch as well. Really enjoyed that. They don't make boxing documentaries like that anymore. You know? Just going over great fights, the build and like analysing the build-ups, the fallouts, the fight itself. They don't really do those type of documentaries anymore. But yeah, HBO Legendary Nights, that's it. Ben Haynes, Lucas Brown versus Tom Little. I think Lucas Brown, to be quite honest. But yeah, Jay's Boxing Universe, Meldrick Taylor, though, he was a great fighter. And we mentioned earlier, most gifted fighters athletically. You know, Taylor was up there. His hand speed was blistering. Blistering hand speed. And that Chavez fight was a great fight. That's my favourite fight of the 90s, to be quite honest. That's a beautiful fight to watch, man. It was like beautiful yet tragic in the same sense because like it was a great fight to watch, but like I felt Meldrick Taylor got robbed of that win personally. But there we go. People are split on that. Some people say the ref made the right call. Others say Meldrick got robbed. I'm in the latter. I think Meldrick got robbed personally. I felt he should have been given those extra 2 seconds, man. But there we go. There we go. That's boxing, you know. That's boxing. 54 Trail Swan, what do you think of Spence acting out like Mayweather? I remember an interview telling him that Andrade called him out, but Spence did a classic Mayweather move and told Andrade to fight Charlo instead. Yeah, Errol Spence has turned into a diva, man. He has. He said all the right things on the come up, but these days, he doesn't really bring that same energy as they say over there in the States. It's the same with Keith Thurman, though, man. Thurman on the come up, he said all the right things. And to be fair to Thurman, he fought Garcia, he fought Porter. They were really good wins. But as soon as that Spence fight came up, guy went, guy went AWOL. But there we go. There we go. Yeah, get this smoke. That fight, drove Taylor to bad ways. Yeah. It's a shame, man, because he was such a talented fighter. So quick, man. His hand speed. Blistering hand speed. And yeah, I felt he got jobbed in that Chavez fight. But credit to Chavez, he kept on fighting, working that body, applying pressure. Got the knockdown in the last round. And yeah, the referee waved it off, so fair play to Chavez. Certainly in a 15-rounder, Chavez would have knocked out Taylor. But in a 12-rounder, man, yeah, Meldrick should have won that. Yo, see you later, Unrivaled. And by the way, lads, smash for like McGregor says, but also check his channel out. Drop him a sub. Gonna hit that 500 marks real soon. Yeah, get this smoke. Don't get me wrong. I like the Sean Porter fight. That's a fight I want to see from Errol Spence. No problem with it whatsoever. But the dude's attitude has just completely changed. I don't want to hear about A side, B side, she side. I don't want to hear about it. I'd rather he conduct himself like Crawford. But there we go. It's nitpicking. I know it's nitpicking, but like, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. It's like Dillian White over here, man. I like the dude as a fighter, but he talks too much. He talks about, splits, deserving things, and all that. It just doesn't do it for me, to be honest. Yeah, get this smoke. Pernell Whitaker. Yeah, his career went off the rails. Again, drugs, man. I liked Pernell Whitaker. I've seen people say he was boring, but like, yeah, the guy could be defensive, but when he opened up, man, that dude was vicious. Like, he could really open up, man. When he fought the Cuban dude, what was his name? Was he cute? Hang on, I need to see this. I need to check this dude's name out because he was against the ropes and he pummeled him. What's this dude's name? I'm terrible with names, by the way. If you haven't realised, Pernell Whitaker. I don't think he was even Cuban. 1 second. I don't even remember what this dude's name was. Oh, what was this dude's name? I'll find it later. It is what it is. Yeah, Walter Sweetpea was a brilliant fighter. Brilliant fighter. Hurtado, that's it, Tone. Damn it. Fuck's sake. Hurtado. Wasn't that in like 90? That was towards the end. Or was it? Yeah, it was. I think that was towards the end of his career, Hurtado. Unrivaled, he says, fantasy fight Azuma Nelson at 126 versus all of today's feathers. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, looking at today's featherweights, I mean, can anybody fuck with him? I mean, I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure. I'll be honest. I think he beats them all. I think he beats them all. Azuma Nelson was great, man. He was a great fighter. It's mad though. He fought like I'm pretty sure he fought Salvador Sanchez in like his 15th fight, something stupid like that, and he gave him a great fight, man. I remember watching that fight on YouTube a couple of years ago, or Daily Motion, one of the two, and that was a really good fight. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, Azuma Nelson was a problem. He really was. I mean, Azuma Nelson beat some good guys. He beat some good guys. He beat I know he beat Wilfredo Gomez. Um, I think he beat Fenich. You know, he beat some decent dudes, man. He did. Yeah, abstract. I think Nelson cleans that division out right now. I think he beats them all and probably knocks them all out as well. I mean, featherweight, Josh Warrington versus Azuma Nelson, really? I mean, that dude would get smoked. Valdez, again, smoked. Gary Russell Jr. might make it interesting with his hand speed and his boxing, but like again, Azuma Nelson for me, the length and size of Leo Santa Cruz could be a problem. But I'd take Azuma to beat him as well. I think Azuma would outpoint Leo though. Yeah, I mean, people are discussing Crawford. Yeah, Crawford. You know, when he opens up, he does kind of leave openings. And yeah, you're right. He does kind of throw with his chin in the air, but he's getting away with it so far, man. He's got away with it so far. We'll see what happens when he fights one of these elite level welterweights. We'll see. And yeah, you are right, Joe Blow. His resume is not great. I wouldn't say it's trash, to be quite honest. I think that's a bit unfair. I think the Postal win's a decent win. He's got some solid names, but there's not that standout win. You know, there's not those standout names, in my opinion. Rigondeaux versus Pac-Man at super bantamweight. Oh, you've got to say Pacquiao, surely. I think he'd overload Rigondeaux. I think he'd overload him. 54 Trail Swan, Oscar de la Hoya versus Canelo. Who wins? At 154? Hmm. At 154? I'm going to say Canelo, you know. I'm going to say Canelo. Yo, that's a good question. Ike Corte in today's division. I mean, that jab itself would be a problem. That jab itself would be a problem. I certainly think Ike would be too strong, too tough for Keith Thurman. I think he'd grind him down. I think he'd outpoint Sean Porter. Errol Spence. That'd be a great fight, you know. Ike Corte versus Errol Spence. That'd be a tremendous fight. I'd say that would be a 50-50. And Crawford, I'm not sure because Crawford, for me, well, although I do like him a lot, he is unproven at welterweight. He is unproven at welterweight, in my opinion. But I liked Ike Quartet. Yo, what's up, 99 Boxing, aka Boxing Squared? How you doing, man? And shout out to you guys for you and Big Boys Boxing for putting that video up of Junior Farr and Dominic Gwynn, because I was looking for that everywhere and I just realised it was on your channel. But yeah, thank you very much for that, man. Yeah, what's up, Caution Boxing? How you doing? Yeah, Jay's Boxing Universe. That's a good point. In the Jeff Horn fight, Horn for me, not the most. He's not the most skilled guy out there, but he's a physical dude. He's a big guy for welterweight. He's strong. He's tough. He's durable. And Crawford dealt with him, quite handily. So maybe Crawford will be okay against guys like Spence. We'll see. But I still need to see a bit more from Crawford. Get this smoke. He's saying he'll take Spence. Ike took too much time off in fights. Yeah, I felt that lost him that De La Hoya fight. To be honest, that's a good point. That is a good point. Errol Spence, he's not like a workhorse, but he's steady each round, steady pressure, steady work rate. Maybe that would be a bit too much for Quartet, but at the same time, Quartet was a strong dude with a great jab. Would Errol be willing to walk through that jab? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. It's a great fight, that is. It really is a good fight. Boxing brains. I'm scared to look at my phone. Got drunk last night and texted loads of hookers. Jesus. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Sounds like an okay night, I guess. Yeah, no, the Quags, you're right. The ref in that Horn fight was very, he was actually, well, he was kind of fair. He didn't allow for fouling, but against Manny, Jeff Horn was allowed to do what he wanted, man. You know, he had three different punches in that fight, both hands and his head. Yeah, Horn fought a dirty fight that night. He really did. I still felt Manny won, to be quite honest. I felt Manny Pacquiao won that fight, but there we go. Yeah, caution boxing. That's a good point. Would Mikey Garcia really go the distance with Ike Quartet? I doubt it. I doubt it. Bit of water. And we've not cut out tonight, I don't think, with the old internet. So yeah, get this smoke. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it did cost him that Vargas fight. 99 boxing. Are you looking forward to seeing the ghost of Samuel Peter fight next weekend? Yeah, I am. I am. When these type of fights happen, these weird off-key fights, I watch them just out of just morbid curiosity, I guess. I mean, Sam Peter, he is going to be in a right state. Let's be honest about it. He's going to be in a right state. He's ancient. I mean, he's not 38 years old. Add at least 5, 6 years to that. He's an old man. He's overweight. He's shot to bits. Maybe he's broke. I don't know, but like he's gonna get jabbed up. Huey needs to stop that dude, man. I know. Sam Peter always had a good chin, but like the dude's a granddad. The dude's a granddad. But at the same time, wouldn't we love to see Samuel Peter knock out Huey Fury just because? Imagine if Samuel Peter lands that big right hand and knocks out Huey and then gets a big fight off the back of that. You never know, man. You never know. Yeah, Walter Morrison. I think Winky Wright had the best jab. He had a lovely jab, and also Winky Wright's high guard. His defensive style was really effective. John 99. Who do you think wins between Josh Taylor now versus Crawford when he was at 140? I would say Crawford on points. Crawford UD in a competitive fight. Caution boxing, I've got no idea. I don't. Surely Samuel Peters is still not with Don King. Surely. Joe Blow, I'm tired of these American hype jobs like Spence. I mean, Spence, he's got time to prove himself, prove the hype, or he'll fail to live up to it. We'll soon see. We'll soon see. I'll be honest. Like, it doesn't really bother me now. About certain guys getting hyped up. I'll watch these dudes, and if they're the goods, they're the goods, and if not, they're not. It is what it is. Yeah, big stiff idiot. I love that. I love that name, by the way. It always makes me chuckle, man, when I see you in the comments, man. Yeah, yeah. But Simon versus Winky, yeah, good fight. That's for the WBO super welterweight belt, I believe. Back in 90, was it 97? Something like that. But Simon was a really good talent, but his career got cut short because of a car crash, I believe. I want to say that was because of a car crash. Simon, Harry Simon. I think it was because of a car crash. Yeah, exactly, Loma King. Exactly. They need to hype these guys up to sell tickets, to sell pay-per-views. Yeah, and ultimately, if they have the goods or not, we'll see. And yeah, the other day, lads, I put up a poll of the best what if fighters. Like, what would like the names I gave were Edwin Valero, Dmitry Pirog, Ike Iwabuchi, or Harry Simon. Those were the names I put down for the best what if fighter. Who have you guys got? Me personally, I would say Iwabuchi. To be quite honest, I felt Iwabuchi was a frightening proposition from what I saw. He smashed up a prime Chris Bird. He beat David Tua in an absolute slugfest. That fight broke CompuBox records, I believe, for a heavyweight fight. Ike Iwabuchi reminded me of Evander Holyfield, but more compact, kind of like Evander Holyfield with a bit of Tyson sprinkled in. You know, that's what Iwabuchi reminded me of, and I think he would have been a handful for all of these guys. For like the likes of Lennox Lewis, Holyfield. I think he would have been a handful, to be quite honest. That dude was a beast, man. He was a beast. Pancho Villa died criminally young. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. I was thinking about putting other guys in the poll as well. Um, like Gerald McClellan, for example. His career got cut short, but I decided to go with those guys. I decided to go with those guys. But Dimitri Pirog, he was another one. That dude, man, beautiful style to watch. Fought with a beautiful rhythm, upper body movement, good hand speed. You know, he was up there. He was a really good talent. Salvador Sanchez died at what, 23 years old? His resume at 23 years old is ridiculous. Imagine that dude got a few more years. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, thank you for dropping by, Abstract Man. When we um when we start the regular live streams again where I invite people, you're more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome. Joe Blow, welterweight division is a weak division right now. I think it's fairly weak, man. There's a few good fights to make, obviously. But yeah, I don't think it's as strong as people make out. Yeah, get this smoke. Yep, Ike was incarcerated after the Tua fight. Yeah, I think he started hearing voices or something like that. That's what I read, and he got really yeah, he started acting a bit off key. You know, but I loved watching Ike's fights, man. The ones I've seen, I loved his style. Yeah, and Ike Iwabuchi, he was supposed to fight Andy Ruiz. Do you remember that rumor that was going around? Andy Ruiz versus Ike Iwabuchi straight out of prison. That would have been crazy. Crazy, man. Being locked up for God knows how many years, eating that shit food, not keeping yourself in the best of shape. Bro, he would have got smoked. He would have been shot to bits. I'm glad that fight never happened, man. I'm glad that never happened. Because he would have never have been he wouldn't have got to that same level, you know? He wouldn't have got to that same level. And his style was a young man's style as well. He would have got smoked. He would have got smoked. Get this smoke. What is the deepest division in boxing right now? I think light heavyweight is up there because the four champions, I don't think anybody can call who is the best. And outside that, you have Marcus Brown, who, in my opinion, on his day, could be anybody in that division. I don't think there is no way a clear cut number one at light heavyweight. Whereas, like at welterweight, for example, from what I see, the consensus is that if all these guys fight each other, Spence is number one. I don't really see that with light heavyweight. I don't see anybody say, "Oh, Kovalev's definitely number one. Vodsic's definitely number one." Very few people say that. Most people are undecided with light heavyweight. Um, but yeah, I think light heavyweight's up there. To be quite honest, I think light heavyweight's up there. Yo, Aaron Pryor, yeah, he was a beast. He was a beast. Although that fight with Arguello was a bit suspect, it's got to be said. A bit suspect, man. Yeah, Copper No 09, that's a good shout. It says a lot more about what they thought of Ruiz back then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get this smoke. There's a lot of good light heavyweights coming up, man. I'm hoping Marcus Brown stays out of trouble. And that next fight for Marcus Brown, after a good win against Badu Jack, man. It just seems like a sidestep or a backward step. But I think once Marcus Brown gets his title shot, he'll be competitive with anybody. Yeah, Joe Blow and that Arguello fight, man. Let's be honest about it. It was controversial. Let's be honest. Yeah, the one. Yeah, the bottle I mixed. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff, man. Well, that was the theory, Walter. They always said Ray Leonard never really wanted to fight Pryor. Now, I've not really read too much into that, so I can't say whether that's true or not. But that's what I've read. That's what I've heard. See, there's certain things like I need to really brush up on my boxing history. I try and do some research now and again, um, but I'm not a historian by any means. I know more than the guy on the street, of course, but like I'm not a historian. There's a lot of dudes in this chat who would know a lot more about the history of the sport than I do. Scott 70, what's going on, Scott? Chisora or Spilka to get the win? I'm taking Chisora. I'm taking Chisora. That fight could either be a stinker or a good scrap. It depends how these two take to each other in the build up. If Spilka riles up Chisora, then it's going to be a barn burner. But if Spilka plays it off key and Chisora isn't motivated, it could be boring. You could see Chisora following Spilka around the ring, getting outboxed, and maybe struggling. But Spilka's a hothead, as is Chisora. So if these two clash at a press conference, it will be a good fight because I think they'll fight based on emotions. But if they don't clash, if these two get on, it's going to be a dull fight. That's how I see it. These two guys are ultra emotional, especially Spilka, man. Spilka's a proper hothead. He's a real hothead. I mean, Spilka, before boxing, he was a football hooligan, for Christ's sake. So there we go. Okay, Walter. So in sparring, Pryor was getting the better of Ray. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Big stiff idiot. Brown has to be one of the most improved fighters in the sport. I couldn't see him doing anything after that gift decision against Hot Rod, but he's turned it around, a real contender at 175. Yeah, I agree. I still think Brown has issues with being a bit inconsistent with his performances. He was great against Badu Jack, for example, but the fight before that against Castillo, he got dropped and he didn't look good at all. He's a hot and cold fighter. When he's on, he's really on. Like the Thomas Williams Jr. fight, he looked really good. But the Hot Rod fight again looked poor. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys. Yo, Loma King, Del Boy number one. We're trying, man. We're trying. We're trying. Get this smoke. My cousin swears Leonard ducked Pryor to this day. I was a huge Sugar Ray fan. I need to research that. I really do. But I did like Pryor's style, that swarming style, ultra aggressive. I like that type of fighting. I do. Naturally, I always prefer aggressive fighters or boxer punchers or guys with power. It's just what I like. But I like all styles, but that's what I gravitate towards. And yeah, I liked Pryor's style. Okay, Mr. Doc. You can find the Hearns versus Pryor amateur fight on YouTube. I never knew that. I'll give that a watch after the stream. John99 Dell, do you think it's possible to start boxing at a later age, e.g., 18 and older, and still become very successful if you're not a heavyweight or cruiserweight? It's happened. Sergio Martinez, I believe he was 21 when he started boxing. When he started first, when he first went into a gym, he was 21 years old. So he had a great career considering. Um, Nate Campbell. Nate Campbell, I believe, first started boxing at 24. Like he first went into a gym at 24, and that was because somebody in his warehouse saw him shadowboxing, and he did that just to like pass the time. And he was told he had good form or something like that, and then he went to a boxing gym, and the rest is history. Nate Campbell had a good career. Campbell he was a world champion. And there's lesser known guys who can you can become pro at starting late. I saw a guy on the MTK card this weekend, just gone, a guy by the name of Donnie Darko, and he started boxing at 24, 25 years old, 29 now, and he's a pro. I know he's only 4-0, but he beat a guy who actually had a good amateur background. So yeah, you can have some success if you start late. Shepherd of Sons, I know it's heavyweight, but yeah, Tony Thompson started at 27 and had some success. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Doc. Martinez was a great athlete before he started boxing, yeah. And as Loma King in the chat says, start boxing ASAP, whatever age. See where you get. You only live once. That is the best advice. Don't, just do you, man. Just do it. See where it goes. And regardless of where it goes, you'll have fun doing it. You'll definitely have fun doing it. Boxing gyms aren't what you expect. There's a lot of camaraderie. It's a great place to be. You'll meet new friends. And listen, man, it's a great place to be. Just go to a gym, man. Have some fun. If you've got a gym in your area, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Like my area now, like the gyms are non-existent, unfortunately. I used to box in a place called Queen's Park in Bedford. And that's not what it was, man. It's not what it was. And before then, I went into I went to a place in Hitchin, and that was run by a guy by the name of Graham Earl. Now, Graham Earl, he was like a British kind of domestic type fighter. He fought Amir Khan. He fought Katsides. I trained in his gym. Yeah, man, it's good fun. It's good fun. But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about starting boxing and you're a bit older, maybe late teens, even early 20s, give it a go. Give it a go, man. I mean, and there's other guys out there who I've not mentioned, you know? And not just boxing, martial arts. I'm not into martial arts like that, but, guys have started that late. Jimmy Manoir, for example, I know he's retired now, but he started MMA at like 27 years old. All he did before that was weightlifting, you know? So Jimmy Manoir, for a guy who started MMA at 27, he got to the UFC and became a ranked guy. I think he was high as number 3 rated in the light heavyweight division. That's a hell of an achievement for starting at 27, So it can be done. It can be done. And Big Stiff Idiot, like he says, learning to box just for self-defense is good. Yeah, the streets are mad. The streets are mad. I mean, I was out this evening, and some fucking little Ute tried to start something, and it's one of those situations where like there's just me because I was walking to my car, and there's about five of these Utes like absolutely smashed, and one of them tried to get rude, and you just got to, in that situation, you just have to try and defuse it because there's five of those dudes and one of me. So yeah, but if you ever get into that position, you need something to back you up. You need something, and whether that's boxing, MMA, regardless. Yeah, Mr. Doc, that's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it. Better to fall on your face chasing your dreams rather than break your back bending over backwards for somebody else's dreams. Yes, sir. Hello, McKing. In a street fight, yeah, in a street fight for a body shot first works every time. Yeah, nobody goes to the body in street fights. Nobody. And also, though, if you watch street fight videos on YouTube and you just look at them, like one straight punch and these guys are out. Like, I mean, not many people can throw a punch in real life. Not many people can throw a punch. Look at these street fights. Open armed, clubbing, I don't know what you would call them, slaps almost, wide. Just learn how to throw a basic 1-2, and that'll bail you out a lot of the times, to be quite honest. A lot of these dudes can't throw a punch. Dale Stirk, how well does Canelo do against Kovalev? I mean, it's hard because is there a catch weight involved? Is there a rehydration clause? I mean, if there's no fuckery, I would take Kovalev, to be honest. But if there's any fuckery, I'm taking Canelo. Get this smoke, eyes, nose, throat, and knees in a street fight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Joe Blow, that's what I'm saying. I think if that fight is fair, Kovalev beats Canelo. But yeah, I think Kovalev's going to get drained. I know, no worries, John 99. But no, if there's anybody out there who's looking to start, just give it a go, man. Give it a go. And yeah, man, I need to get back in the gym. To be quite honest, I need to find a new place. Like I said, I need to find a new place, but there's just nowhere good around here. Like I could go to Luton, but that's quite. It's not a long drive, but like after a long day's work, it's getting there. Big stiff idiot. Have you seen much of Chris Billham Smith? I saw him once on Channel 5. He looked okay. Could box a bit, decent power. I think he's certainly in and around that Sam Hyde level, and Sam Hyde gave Riakporhe a tough fight. I felt Sam Hyde was beating Riakporhe until the stoppage. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Billham Smith hits harder than Sam Hyde as well. So that's going to be a good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Billham Smith won, but I am leaning towards Riakporhe in that fight. Carpendo 9, if Ruiz wins the rematch, would you like to see Canelo versus Ruiz in an all Mexican affair? Canelo won't get a better chance to be a world heavyweight champion. No, nah, I think Ruiz would smash him up. I've heard people say that though on Twitter about that fight. Yo, boxing brains, that's the thing these days, man. So, and that's what I worry about. Like, if you have to fight, you have to fight. It is what it is. But like, if you fuck somebody up, you could get into deep shit, especially these days in the UK. You can barely protect yourselves without, you know, feeling the full extent of the law. And that's a terrible position to be in. I don't want to get banged up for defending myself. But there we go. Loma King, Dell, how good is Vasily Lomachenko? The best, mate. The best. He's my number one pound for pound right now. He is. He's my number one. I've heard that rumor though. Canelo versus Ruiz. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Get this smoke. Who out of the top 10 would you favour Ruiz to beat? I think I'm leaning towards him beating Joshua in the rematch. I think he loses to Fury. I think he's got a chance against Wilder, but I'd still pick Wilder. I think Wilder can keep him behind that long jab, use those feet similar to the Stavern fight, and then walk him onto big right hands. So I'm taking. I don't really. He's got a chance against Wilder, but like I'm taking Wilder. I don't think he'd beat Usyk when Usyk moves up. I think he could beat guys like Pulev, Joshua in a rematch, Parker in a rematch. He can beat some good guys, in my opinion. Anyway, lads, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Probably do another one tomorrow night, late one.